personally, James and myself, we're brothers, so that's how we kind of met, so that's how we know each other, so that's a given, I guess.
James and I, we used to go to, though we went to separate schools, we're always on the same bus together, we would sit down together, developed a friendship. Over the years, we've worked together at similar jobs, but our commonality is music, and we were just drawn to that.
So I met James when I was in grade 10, he was in grade 9 in science class. We just happened to sit down together, and we started talking, and we had a couple of interests. It wasn't really about music at that point yet, until the following summer when I happened to move up to the small village that James was living in, and just walked over, and there was a drum set sitting there, and James was playing guitar, and he showed me a few things to play on the drums, and we started jamming every chance we got. Started writing original music a lot, as well as trying to cover other people's music. So that's kind of how James and I kind of started things out.
James was working with Mike at one point, and I remember being very jealous that I couldn't be part of that because they had instruments, I didn't have instruments, but yet I'd go home and bang away on the piano and try and figure out how I could be part of the group. But I think Mike and James were the first ones to actually be the core of the group as it is today.
When I was a preteen and teen, I started becoming interested in music. And I wanted to be a drummer, and so I was an artist at the time, so I painted pictures enough to be able to make enough money in order to buy my first Sears drum kit. And that was phenomenal because I was banging on these drums and making music, or what I thought was music. And then of course, once my musicianship started to get on the road a little bit and I started to learn how to play the guitar and get a little better at it, that's when Jan sort of perked up a little bit, and I guess he sold a car or something and bought some recording equipment, and we began to put some of our songs down on tape, which was really cool to be able to hear what you're creating played back to you. Quite a great process that was.
So yeah, interesting. Bought a car I couldn't really afford the insurance on, which was kind of funny. Being young and stupid when you're young, and so I ended up wanting to really join in with my brother. I always look, he's a year and a half older, but when you're 16 or 14, that's a big gap of even just maturity as a human being. But I always wanted to play music. I was playing kind of acoustic guitar and 12-string for a while, and my brother and I played in church all growing up, so we found a way to learn about music and be in front of people and be comfortable performing, if you will. But yeah, sold my car and bought some recording equipment, started then playing bass, and kind of just fell into the group because they didn't have a bass player and or a means to recording. So I think I kind of pushed my way into the band as if there was a hole, so I filled it. So but that was great, and that I think James hit it when we started, actually, to be able to, in a functional way, record stuff, even in those days, was just 8-track reel-to-reel. It gave us a good indicator of potential of what we could do, and then also, the first time you ever record yourself as a musician, you whether you're playing or singing, you go like, boy, either I'm really good or I stink. And I think there was a lot of that with us being so young and immature as, musicians, basically, more than anything. But yeah, kind of that's how we got started.